Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Breer, and welcome to episode 33 of the 11FS FinTech Insider Breakfast Show, brought to you this morning by our good friends over at MyTech, who provide bank-grade identity verification with the highest possible assurance levels, massively reducing risk, fraud, and costs. In this show, we bring you the best and the brightest from around the FinTech and banking landscape every single weekday, straight into your homes at 8:30 BST, here live on LinkedIn. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Deniz Guven, who is the CEO over at Mox Bank over in Hong Kong. Today, what we're going to be talking about is everything that those guys have been up to with the new virtual bank and how the fintech scene in Hong Kong is looking at this time. Deniz, thank you so much. I mean, not for getting up early, but for what, it's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock there for you, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, it's 3:30. Good morning, David. Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing?
Very good. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to get you to do it, but show us the view from where you are, because it's pretty phenomenal. I remember it very well, but show us the great view that you've got out over into the bay. You got us, Deniz. Can you hear us still?
David?
Can you not hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Show us the view into the bay, Deniz, because it's a pretty phenomenal one.
Okay. Of course, I can show you guys. This is our office. Can you see, David?
That's pretty amazing, I have to say. Yeah, it's one of the best office views I think I've ever seen. So for everybody on LinkedIn right now who were telling me you're in Dublin or London or wherever, I think Deniz is in a better place right now in terms of that view. So I mean, it's a pretty inspirational view for getting down and doing some great stuff, and that's exactly what you guys have been doing over there at Mox. So tell us a little bit before we start on Mox. Give us a little bit of your background, Deniz, because obviously, I mean, you haven't just done this. I mean, you've been in the fintech scene, in the banking scene for, I mean, 10, 15 years, actually, given your background. Do you want to just give us a bit of an overview?
Sure, David. Thank you very much. By the way, we have a great view, in our office, and it's a great afternoon in Hong Kong. And as you know, Hong Kong is becoming normal. We can talk about this as well. I joined Standard Chartered, 3 years ago. I've been with them since 2017. Before that, I worked for Garanti Bank. I'm sure you guys know Garanti. Garanti is a legendary bank, in Turkey, owned by BBVA Group. I worked for them, more than 10 years. And before that, I worked for different banking groups, including HSBC. I'm finishing the 20 year in banking, not 10, not 15, David. We are becoming old. But the thing is, in the last 2 years, I've been with Mox. Literally in 23, 24 months. It was the first day that we started to Mox Bank, and that was just an idea at that time. And thank you, to you and also the 11FS team, because in the very beginning, you guys were with us, here in Hong Kong, and we work very closely, to create a lot of great ideas together. Now we have a bank. We are a licensed bank in Hong Kong, not a fintech anymore, or not a technology company. And to be honest, we started our beta testings, external beta testings, with our customers in Hong Kong.
Amazing. And it's going tremendously well, isn't it? I mean, I've seen the card looks amazing. I've seen the design. It all looks phenomenal. So I mean, it's been a pretty big effort, I think, to kind of get you through, obviously, through that period of time. I mean, just so everybody knows the difference, international sort of viewers, you guys are a virtual bank over in Hong Kong, aren't you? Do you want to talk a little bit about what a virtual bank is?
Sure. In Hong Kong, 2017, HKMA, Hong Kong Monetary Authority, they released a manifesto in Hong Kong, and in that manifesto, there was one thing, about virtual banking license, and at that time, we were looking at, what is this? What will be the difference, for us, if you are going to get this license? Because as Standard Chartered Group, we have a really good franchise in Hong Kong. We are extremely strong. We have been in Hong Kong 165 years. And we issue the banknotes in Hong Kong. We have a lot of customers, but we ask two main questions to ourselves. The first one was, can we attack this market with our existing model, and can we defend our market with our existing model? The answers were so easy, David. The answers were no. And that's the point. We wanted to do something else. That's why we applied this virtual banking license. And this virtual banking license means we are a licensed bank in Hong Kong. We can do everything except one thing. We cannot open a branch or a physical location. Except that we can do everything in banking in Hong Kong. I think this is a great opportunity for us. But also why we apply this because the benefit of this license and the benefit of building a new bank separately, standalone, I think it brought us a lot of different benefits. Because the idea was in the beginning, of course we can imagine, and everybody is talking about the virtual banks or challenger banks coming from the traditional banks in these days. And the funny part is, yes, there are many traditional and big banks or international banks in the world that they try to do this kind of things. They have been trying, and it's really difficult to talk about the successful ones. But what I can tell you, that the most important thing is how you see the thing. Do you want to create another mobile app to attack the market with pricing model, or do you want to build a new operating model or future operating model to capture a different way, or to capture the customers in a different way? I think our first starting point was building a future operating model. And under the future operating model, there were a lot of different things that we want to capture. And one was, for example, the culture. Do we want to hire like this, or do we want to create a different culture?
Yeah.
Do we want to continue with this? Do we want to create a new technology? So all these things, I think, brought us to this point. Honestly, as a virtual bank in Hong Kong, right now we have a lot of opportunities, and also I have to share this, David. 35% of this company is owned by our JV partners. One is PCCW Hong Kong Telecom Group. They are the biggest telecom group in Hong Kong, and the other one is Trip.com. I think with the partners and with the ecosystem, we have a real bank here with a license, and we will move on.
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting, that point. I mean, and that's something that always really in early discussions with you and Mary and Samir, and actually I know when Bill's sort of involvement as well, it wasn't about, exactly as you say, it was a future operating capability. It wasn't necessarily about the features or functionality, and I think that's where most people kind of get it completely wrong. But you guys set it up from that point in terms of the operations and as you say, the culture, the rhythm, and everything that goes around it. I mean, I always sort of say it's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. And the way that you guys have gone about this has been, I think, the model that people will follow for decades and decades, because the result of it is really, really great. So I mean, what's it like, I guess, in doing this in Hong Kong? Have you seen a big difference between, obviously, your experience before in Turkey, the Turkish financial services market, and the market in Hong Kong is quite different. But have you found it quite similar in terms of, I mean, they're both pretty hardworking, work ethic environments, aren't they? But what's the difference there in terms of the markets, do you think?
There are a lot of similarities, between Turkey and Hong Kong. Before Hong Kong, I was in Singapore, by the way. Of course, Hong Kong has a lot of different dynamics, and as a market, we are talking about 7.4 million population, right? And the most important thing is, here in Hong Kong, I think we should say that Hong Kong is one of the most profitable banking market in the world. Okay, and when we look at the market, there are a lot of strong banks. Some of them are multinational, some of them are local banks. And these banks, they have all the product sets and from product standpoint, this is a very mature market. But there's one thing missing in Hong Kong, and this is creating a huge opportunity for digital banks actually. Product-wise, mature market, but digital services and digital servicing side, it's a premature market. It's really difficult to talk about digital services in Hong Kong. I'm not talking about a couple of payment services. I'm talking about end-to-end digital banks with with some service-led mentality instead of product-led mentality. Because it's easy to find a lot of different credit cards or loan products or term deposit products in Hong Kong, obviously. But are these products solving the problems of the customers, or what are the real problems or pain points of the customers? This is the real question. And right now, to be honest, what we are doing here, we are building a end-to-end service-led bank instead of a product-led bank. I think this is really critical. Why I'm saying this, it's easy to create a plastic card, right? We have a plastic card, and we have a very sexy plastic card that I want to show David. Let me try. And this is our plastic card. And as you can see, there's no card number on it, and there is nothing on the backside CVV number. That's why it's easy for me to show on a show like this. Normally you cannot show any credit cards on a show, but the good piece is this is an innovation, right? We are working with MasterCard, but you cannot solve everything with a penless card only. You need to build services on top, and this kind of plastic card or new innovation on the card, it will help you under your service, and your services will be your umbrella. If I can sync this card immediately real time with my transportation company, and if I can track everything real time about my transportation company, even for example, I came to office today, it did cost me 80 Hong Kong dollars. Normally it cost me 70. But if my Mox app will notify me, Deniz, there was no traffic today, but you know what, it did cost you 80 instead of 70. Could you please check your transportation company? This is a service, and this part is priceless. What we are we are creating these services, but under that, of course, we have traditional products with some innovations.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's the things on top of the sort of dumb products that actually makes the exciting piece for the customers, isn't it? And I understand you're doing obviously things with the business model as well. This isn't just about technology or culture. You've actually looked at how the business models work for across these things. Can you sort of talk a little bit about that as well?
Sure. The business model, operating model, there are a lot of different things there, but all these things are extremely connected, David, because I want to share something with you and with the audience as well. So for example, before we started, everybody was talking about, Deniz, what will be your KPIs and what will be your targets? Are you going to be profitable? These kind of questions are very normal, David. To be honest, of course, we are building a bank, right? And we have to, discuss, think, and plan. But talking about, profitability, or talking about how can I, acquire 25,000 customers in the next 3 months, these are, some different discussions. If you want to create a real business model, you have to give the real and different, KPIs, to your people. So, for example, in this organization, in Mox Bank, we have a KPI that, in a happy path, customers, will be able to onboard themselves in 3 minutes, 46 seconds, David. I'm talking about literally 3 minutes, 46 seconds.
That's amazing.
If they can't, this is going to be a bad thing for us. But if the onboarding team, if that squad, will do something, and if the customers, will be able to onboard themselves, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, this is going to be a big win for us. Why I'm saying this, this kind of KPIs impacts your culture and creates the right culture, to deliver rapidly, differently. Instead of, talking, guys, do it properly, and we will acquire 20,000 customers. I think, this is the most important part of the business model or operating model. we have to think about this culture. For example, David, as a part of this business model, our hiring culture, we are not asking to people, which, what is your education, which schools. Honestly, I did, more than 1,300 interviews for different, positions and roles for, C levels or, developers or engineers. But I have never asked, which school, they, to be honest, this is meaningless. What I'm asking, do you want to change? Which we call it, Midas touch, because Midas, that the god, in the ancient Greek, when he touches something, it becomes gold. So this is the idea. Do you want to join us? Do you want to change? When you touch something, can you create 3x, 4x value for this company and for your customers? Then you can join us. I think instead of talking about how we are going to acquire customers, we are talking and discussing this kind of things internally as a business model.
Yeah, I mean that's such again, it's a big difference, isn't it, in terms of the culture and how things set up, because you're then hiring for culture rather than just actually what those people kind of know. I mean, how have you found sort of building the team? I know you've brought people from around the world, really, in terms of skill sets and pulling people together, but the commonality, like exactly what you say, is the drive to actually make this happen, isn't it?
Exactly. David, we have 26 different nationalities in 166 people. Wow. I think there's a good diversity. We have a great diversity, to be honest. We have a lot of different people, different mindsets. But this is what this is what I wanted to create, to be honest. Hiring people or getting people on board, of course it was not easy, because I'm sure you remember in the early stages I got only 10-15 people with me, and I'm sure you remember that small room in Hong Kong, and we started from there. And right now we have 2 full floors here, and what we are trying to do, we are trying to build something totally different. Finding people sometimes it's difficult, but what I can share with you, we have the best engineers, we have the best developers in the town, okay? And we have the best product people in this town, and this is what I know, and this is what I wanted to create. And I think we will this is just this is like journey. It's not like okay we finished everything. We are still hiring, and we will continue to hire a lot of people. And honestly, there's a huge opportunity for us here. If people wants to join us, I will wait their applications on LinkedIn.
Sounds good. I mean, we've always definitely been impressed with the team that you've got over there. Like you say, it's the drive behind the organization that sort of moves all those things and makes those things happen. I mean, where are you at now then Deniz? Obviously, you've just got to the point where you've got I think is it 3,000 people you've had for the early side, because you showed us the plastic card, but you've actually got another one as well, haven't you, for very early adopters? Is that right?
That's true. Let me try to show our metal card. This is our metal card. You can feel it, and you can also you can hear it, because this is metal. We announced our metal card, but the idea is not only metal cards. We announced our founding members. And these founding members, yes, you are right. I'm talking about 3,000 people, and we opened the registration on Monday 11 a.m. and I cannot share the numbers right now, David, but it's unbelievable. The registrants, the number of the registrants are much higher than some of the challenger banks in the world right now. Okay, this is what I can share with you.
Fantastic.
There's a sorry, please go ahead, David.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I remember when we met in Standard Chartered's offices about 2 years ago, and I was asking you how I could get one of those Iron Man Standard Chartered cards. I don't care about that now. I'd like one of those black cards. So, it's there's definitely a big appeal in terms of getting those things together. And, I guess the founding members are the people who are going to be building the product with you as well. Right. Obviously, during your alpha phase, you've had huge amounts of feedback, but I really like the approach that you're taking, which is people, your customers are building the product with you, and their feedback helps you shape your roadmap and shape your product roadmap to move it in the direction that they need. So you really are building it with people rather than just for them, aren't you?
Totally, David. You can see, on my back, this is our backlog. I hope, you guys, you cannot read it.
I'm trying to make it out, but I don't think I can quite make it out. So I think your secrets are safe so far, so it's good.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's right. These funding members, they will, work with us. And to be honest, metal card is just, gesture, right? They will benefit our metal card, but for the next phases, for the next products and services, they will be the first that they will try, our new services and products. And we will get a lot of, feedbacks from them. Even today, we get a lot. Sometimes, David, these feedbacks, can be good, bad, ugly, but this is okay, right? So what we believe that, this is going to be a marathon. This is not a sprint. So as a marathoner, to be honest, getting, some ugly and bad, feedbacks, it will make us, perfect. So that's why, we are fully open to work with our, funding members.
That's fantastic. So really good questions over on LinkedIn. So I'll kind of pick up a couple of these guys. Ronit over at Citi. Good morning, Ronit. Thank you for tuning in. How do you manage the difference in culture and approach between a digital challenger bank and the traditional bank? Because obviously, as you say, Deniz, you've established a very different operating rhythm and culture within Mox, oscillating at I'd say a different speed. How have you balanced that between the process within Standard Chartered and of everything that you're setting up with Mox?
Very good question by Ronit. Ronit, I think good afternoon to Dubai. So what we do actually, I think we have a great support, David. That makes the difference, right? From day one, we set up the company, separately standalone. We set up our board. So I work with our board very closely. In our board, for example, the CEO of Hong Kong Telecom, she's sitting with us. CEO of C3 Finance, she's sitting with us. And also, we have a lot of good supporters from SCB, Standard Chartered. And I think this is a great combination, but nobody has, they have never said that Deniz, you have to go this way. We have to do these things traditionally, because when I look at a lot of different things, Standard Chartered has a it's a very strong group. They have a lot of technology, but they allow us to try and explore new technologies. And right now we have a new tech stack, totally cloud native, and cloud native exploration, as David, it's not an easy journey. There are a lot of difficult days, right? But honestly, they are super supportive. But when I look at the differences between the big banks and the challenger banks or digital banks, however you want to call, I want to call it operating model. Honestly, as a nature of the big banks or traditional organizations, there are a lot of silos, right? The easiest piece, for example, we can give as an example, people they are managing credit card. The other one is managing loan. The other one is managing mortgage. When you put this kind of silos, of course these silos are impacting the other side. Technology teams are creating the silos as well. And also, this impacts, the technology, because under the technology stack, they are creating silos. But this is very normal, because after 20 years, 30 years, you can build new technologies. But again, it's a bit difficult. The beauty of this business, we are quite fresh and young, and we have a chance, to build everything, without silos. Everybody. Yeah. So I'm super against, this superficial digital transformation keywords. I'm super against, and people they love to use digital transformation, especially in these days because of COVID-19. What is digital transformation? What do you want to achieve, right? And what we are trying to do, we are not talking about agile delivery. We are not talking about, yes, we have agile delivery. This company, this bank, we deliver 87% of this company you know, they deliver, daily. The rest, of course, the support groups. But 87%, are we discussing, agile or squads or scrums? No. Actually, we adapted the best piece of, these things. And we are not saying that we are a technology company, we want to be a fintech, we want to be a startup. I'm sorry, David, we are becoming a bank. And our core competence is banking. But we understand technology. We are like, telco players as well. I'm really fed up to talk about this is like the story of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right? Which piece, which part is are you Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? It's not that important. We are building a bank. We are in the trust business. Okay, our business is trust. We are not a software company. I'm sorry, but we are delivering quite well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a technologically enabled bank. I think that's the difference, isn't it? Because many are technologically disabled by their technology, which is a difficult thing, isn't it? I mean, there's some really good questions over on LinkedIn for you, Deniz, around. I mean, if you could go back in time 2 years from now, we're sitting in Hong Kong again. What advice would you give yourself? What advice would you give a big bank starting up on this process? It's a question from Lucy Heavens. Great question, Lucy, because this move from product-led to service-led, Deniz, it's a big leap there, isn't it? But it's the thing that makes such a big difference to whether your customers actually care about the thing that you're doing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we did a lot of things very quickly. Okay, I cannot complain about the seriousness of this delivery or this model. But of course, I had to prioritize some of the hirings a bit differently. I think that was the thing I saw. People are talking about a lot of different things. For example, what I believe your risk organization is really important, because if you are building a bank, you need to find your CRO, and your CRO should be your real partner. And the second line organization should be really strong. I'm not talking about first line, second line, but the risk organization should be strong. But at the same time, what I did, I don't want to claim this as a mistake or missing piece. But if your cybersecurity or if your first line of defense can be strong, you can position your risk quite differently. I have a lot of really strong people in my organization, but next time I will prioritize my hirings quite differently.
Yeah, it's interesting. You never know you need them until you need them. I mean, from 11FS's perspective, NAS keeps me out of all sorts of trouble, which is good. So getting that GC and CRO is a critical thing in there, isn't it? A great question over on LinkedIn as well from Asif is you talked a little bit about diversity and in the team. Given the current COVID situation, are you still looking to build more of an international team? It's always struck me, Deniz, you don't really, again, it doesn't matter what school or what country or what geography, if they're the right people, you sort of can bring them in and bring them into the culture. Is that still the case going forward, do you think?
David, this is true. We are, first of all, our focus right now, we have a laser focus to Hong Kong, as an organization. But this doesn't mean that, we are only hiring from Hong Kong. We are fully open to everyone who wants to join us. They can come from London. We have a lot of people from UK, Australia, Europe, Turkey, different countries. We are fully open. To be honest, if you want to change something, we are hiring.
Nice, fantastic. Well, loads and loads and loads of comments that we're just not going to be able to get to, I'm afraid, because we're hitting the top of the hour now. Great comment here from Dave on there. You guys are in the trust business, love it. So I think keep it up, Deniz. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. I think what will happen, given that there's hundreds of banks trying this globally, I think people will be looking to you as the success story, as you say, because the things that you've set up, the way in which you've gone about doing it, I think will become the playbook. So congratulations on all the success with Mox. I look forward to seeing it go from strength to strength. Deniz, where can people find a little bit more about you, Mox, and jobs at Mox for starters as well?
I think the best place is LinkedIn. They can find a lot of things on my also Mox LinkedIn account, but also mox.com. It's a great website, guys. Please visit.
Fantastic. All right, guys, that's all we have for you today. I'm afraid. Stay safe and see you tomorrow. I'm going to be joined by Emily Spavin, who is the UK news editor at LinkedIn, to talk about everything that LinkedIn are up to at the moment, and actually the world that they see in terms of what we're all looking at and the changes that are kind of coming along. If there's anybody else that you'd like me to get on the show at this stage, just hit me on david@11fs.com. Let me know who they are. I mean, if you know them well enough, connect me into them. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. Deniz, thank you again for joining us.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
do us if you have any comments or anything you'd like to get on, just send it over to us. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye.